Right, so you fit the turbo to your Civic, you've kind of made it fast, and then the next thing you do is you want to make sure you've got enough bass for your Australian hip hop music. So I didn't really want to fit a sub amp in the boot because I may need space in the boot for other items in the future, like fuel systems and stuff like that. So what I've gone for is, I've gone for an underseat subwoofer. Somewhere in here. It's not a wire. There it is there. It's quite a small item, as you can see. And it comes, it's all powered in there, and it comes with all the relevant cables needed, which is very handy. This is also remote control, so you can turn up your bass for your Australian hip hop. That's upside down, as needed. So that's that. Now I'm going to mount this underneath the driver's chair, is the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to remove the centre console, and that should allow me room to feed the wires through, because the blue wire here, that's the remote switch on wire. I'm guessing this, I should probably look at the instructions, but I'm pretty sure it will be. And then the yellow wire, which is this wire here, because it's fused, well, that'll be your power wire. It does actually say to the battery, so that's handy. That back to front it is, isn't it? Bat. That goes to the bat. And then the black wire that is left over, this will be an earth. So that's all cool. So that's straightforward enough. I'm going to attempt to Velcro the sub to the floor, because I don't want to cut into the carpet, because it's Premier Editions come with red carpet and they're quite expensive second hand, so I don't really want to destroy the carpet drilling into anything. I'm just going to try, I say try, I'm going to try and Velcro it down. I think that was from like B&M or Home, maybe the Range or something, like £1 a pack, so it's going to be fantastic. This is actually, I wouldn't say it was mega heavy, but it is flat on the bottom, so as long as I stick enough Velcro on it, it should hopefully hold it. We'll see. So yeah, cool. Under seat amplifier for your performance car. I'll maybe edit that last sentence out because it sounded rubbish. Oh yeah, the only thing not included in the kit was some RCA cables. So I purchased the finest RCA cables I could find for about £4 on eBay. Welcome to the inside of the car. The first thing's probably worth checking is that it does fit underneath the seat. I didn't bother measuring it, I just thought it would fit. I'll tell you something, bloody tight. No it isn't, it fits no bother. Okay, let's have a look down there. I don't know if you can see it now, it's under the seat anyway. It fits no problem, so that's good. It's actually quite tight against the seat rails, which is kind of handy. I mean, maybe won't flop around, it maybe just sit where I want it to sit, so that's good. Now we're going to take the radio out and start connecting some of the wires, and then I'm going to run all the wires through there, and then somewhere, I'm not quite sure where yet, I'll probably take this out first. I'll have to run the wires hopefully underneath the carpet and back out on a seat bolt. See there? See if you can see that. I don't know if you can. The carpet sort of like light on. There's like a little gap there, so I can run the wires back out of that little gap there if need be, and then you shouldn't really be able to see them. I won't have to take the seat out, so that's handy. Out, off, loose as hell, because I don't actually need it out because I'm just going to feed the wires underneath it. So that's alright. And then what we'll do is, if we start from here, I think I'm going to push the wires up the side of there and then up towards the radio from there, instead of doing it the other way around, because obviously you can't. It's probably might be a bit easier doing it this way, I don't know. But yeah, we'll go upwards instead of downwards. Right, so we've got the RCA's plugged in, and the blue one there, that's the remote 5, all done. They're all run. Obviously I'll put the lights on again, this light's amazing by the way. Yep, so they're run there, so they come down through there and they're going to run underneath that and then under towards the seat. And we'll end up with lots of spare bits of RCA cables and spare length of blue wire, but with a bit of luck I should be able to tape it up and sort of tidy it underneath where the handbrake sits, just to keep it all in one place. I can now put the radio back in, and I can also put the gear stick back together, and I can start reattaching that panel. And then I need to take the back seats up, them ones, and then try and run the earth and the live cable, and then power it up and watch the car set on fire. But luckily I have a fire extinguisher just in case. Right, so as per usual, I think I mentioned this a few minutes ago, you end up with a load of extra wire that you don't need. Can't really hide it anywhere particular, but luckily the handbrake surround, the plastic surround and like rear cup holder sits over all of this anyway, so there's plenty of room. It's really deep. It comes up to about there I think, so there's quite a big gap underneath it, so that's cool. So I've just randomly stuck some electrical tape on it just to keep it a bit neater and leave that there. I'm then going to feed the plug for the amp that way underneath the chair. It's not going to be possible to bring it out underneath the carpet. It's actually going to be really difficult because that gap there is really tight and I don't want to damage it. And there's no other holes in the carpet that I can feel anywhere else anyway. But you're not going to really see it anyway because there's a tiny gap between the actual cup holder bit, the rear cup holder bit and the seat frame, so it's not really going to matter. Just push that cable that way, and then that means that I can then start running the power and earth cables up that way. I did think that there's a bolt here, you see, which is where the handbrake brackets go. I could possibly just remove that a little bit, and hopefully it's got, where's the terminal gone? Hopefully it's got the right size thread for the terminal for the earth to go in. It possibly has, looking at it. It might actually work. That would mean I wouldn't have to run the earth cable anywhere. I'd only have to run the power cable, but then it would mean I'd have a lot more wire stuffed under there. But I suppose it doesn't really matter too much actually. It's stuff I can come back to and sort at a later date if I really wanted to. It's not interfering with any operation of anything, so it's not really a particular problem. But I think that's probably what I'll do actually. I will try and see if that will fit on there. It should be a 12mm bolt head. I don't even need to remove it properly. So yeah, should be able to earth it onto that. And then run the power cable, and then we'll switch it on and prepare the fire extinguisher. Right, so that's the power for the amp wire fed up. It comes underneath the cap there, and you can just see, if you look down there, I don't know if you can actually see even with the light on. No, not really. There is just, you can see there, the yellow and the blue wire that's the only bit that you're going to see of the amp wiring, but that's only because the amp goes underneath the sub. So that's the power wire now, which I'm now going to run underneath the seat that way, and then just follow it down into the fuse holder in the boot. But everything else is back together, and I can put that rear carpet back in. So that's wired up there. I can now pull that back through to tidy it up a bit, and then I'll just take the wire gently onto there with some like tester tape. Then I can put everything back together in the boot, and then I can go and plug it in. Awesome. Right, so we're now sit in the back of the car. Yay! You can see there, that's where the plug for the amp's coming out there. If I need to pull any more out to make it a bit longer, I can just tester tape that again, tidy that up. Imagine that's like that. It doesn't look too bad actually. By the time the seat's back down, it's plugged into the amp, you'll probably never really pay any attention to that. So that's not too bad. Now what we'll do is we'll flip this amp over. So it's got one connection on the bottom there, all the wires going to one port with the remote there, and then we're going to attempt to see if this Velcro is going to work. I don't think it is, but it's worth a go. So I should attach some and then report back. Some people probably won't need this pointing out, but because I'm me and I'm really not that clever, this is the hook side that we need attached to here to click on the carpet, after I'd spent about a minute cutting the other side and sticking the other side on, the side that doesn't hook onto anything. So I should probably pay more attention, because I wasted a whole minute there. But yeah, it would have just slid around. But like I say, I don't expect this to work all that well. I just don't really want to be cutting through my carpet or drilling into the floor of the car. If this doesn't work, I will fashion out some brackets of some description to hold it in place. Well, it turns out that the Velcro is actually going to work really well, so I'm really happy with that. Pull those cables around there. If you sit it down, you can hear it. Ready? That is proper stuck down. So that's actually mega. I'm well happy about that. Brilliant. Yeah, I will need a bit more tape on those wires there. That'll take minutes to do. And then, well, we're just going to turn it on anyway. So I'll get back in the front of the car. I'm not sure what to do with the 43 miles of remote control wire yet. I'll figure out what to do with that at some point. Let's go in the front and let's see if it all works and switches on. Like I said, I don't think there's a light on it, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell if it's on or not. But yeah, that's actually been pretty good. Happy with that. I've definitely got power to the sub because that's illuminated, so the power in the air's working just fine. We are going to have to go through some setup on it, which I'm not sure what to do yet. I'll have to figure that out. So I'll need to make sure I've turned my stereo right the way down. Yeah, so due to copyright reasons I can't play any music, so what I'll do is I will have a play around with the settings and see what I can do, but it actually works. I can feel it working as well underneath my chair, so that's cool. Happy days. That's a non-performance mod for my performance car. Sound. So that was actually really easy. I'll put this light on there. So that was pretty easy to install, to be fair. Like I said, the cables are exceptionally long. They don't need to be that long, but obviously it's a universal to fit into anything, so that's why the cables are that long. I've had to hide them and tie them up, but they're okay. They're not going to be in any way. They're not going to be a problem. The only one is this remote control that I've got here. This is a huge long wire. I'm not sure how I'm ever going to tuck that up anywhere, but I don't know. We'll see. But for now, that's it. I just need to go through some settings on the stereo. Obviously you'll have your own preferences and own settings for bass and what have you, so it's not really worth me saying what I'm setting mine up as, because you might like more bass than I do, or less bass, who knows. But that's it. That's a Kenwood, and it is a model number KSC-SW11 powered enclosed subwoofer fitted into my Honda Civic Type R. Sweet. Hope that made sense. Thanks for watching.